Welcome, welcome, everybody. Let me share the link here in a little bit. Welcome. Give me a second to share the link. All right. Okay. So I'm gonna probably hop in for maybe an hour or so. I don't have a lot of juice on my phone, but I am feeling up to par to come live here with you guys and chat. Let's chat a little bit, see what comes through. You're welcome to say hi. You are welcome to let us know how you're doing. We are a day from a full moon, and we just went through the 7-7 portal. And everything seems to like speed up. I don't know if you guys are feeling this. You probably are. A lot of us are. I know a lot of things are happening here, internal, external, all around us, globally, planetary. I mean, it's just like everything is scaling. That's a very a line word to use right now. Everything is scaling. Everything is going up in frequency, in vibration. Everything is amping up. The roller coasters are also intensifying a little bit. July is the jumping board. July, August are going to be huge, massive jumping boards that will propel us in a lot of different ways, that will bring us deeper into a sense of clarity, that will bring us deeper into a sense of knowing, that will bring us back to ourselves. This is the only way. This is the only way to make it through this intense ride. This is the only way to actually flow with what's occurring right now. This is the only way to flow with everything that's happening right now. Hi, Lilith. Welcome. And just to remind everyone that, you know, the the more intense it gets, the easier, the more important it will be to not try to understand it, not trying to go with the flow, or not try to go with the chaos, right? Not attached to it. Um, no longer hide from it. And all of these things, everything that I share is an activation for you, for your body to open up to these themes and these questions, right? Your linear mind will continue to, like say no. Oh no, I'm not there. Or no, I'm not. I'm doing this instead of this. And the biggest thing is to just continually open up to absolutely everything. Everything that you think you're doing, everything that you think you're not doing, right? Everything that you can't fully see yet, you don't understand anything, and everything is going to be really important. Oh, there you go. Beautiful. Perfect. Yeah, I decided to just come on here, share the link inside the group and Telegram, I believe, and whoever gets the live message. I don't really know how YouTube works as far as that goes, but just sharing it with just a few of you, see how you're doing, see how things are flowing, um, share experiences, share a little bit of support, share some light, because it's really interesting right now with everything that's happening, with everything that's coming up to the surface. So many things that are being washed and cleared and cleansed. I mean, I'm sure you guys have heard of the just torrential downfall in places in the US. Mexico has been also getting so much rain. We had sprinkles this morning, on and off, very light. It gets cold and then it gets hot. Like the weather changing is just fascinating to me. Um, really, really fascinating. So much. It's just like an ongoing thing. Internally, personally, again, so much right now. Um, a lot of gut, a lot of stomach stuff, um, muscle stuff. Like I was just sharing, this is kind of a new level of intensity in a way. The internal intensity and then the physical movements, a lot of movement. It's a lot of things. Um, a lot of things to do, a lot of things that are coming up and popping up. And it's so fascinating because even this is why I don't share too many specifics on things. Like there's so many things that so many people are going through. And I'll share all of these different things and I'll share activations for you guys in with the purpose of activating you at a deeper level, activating your soul and higher self at a deeper level so that you guys know more of, okay, what to do. There's going to be a lot of things that we've never done before. There's going to be a lot of things that we've never felt before. There's going to be a lot of things that we've never seen before. And that is a huge activation within itself. Okay. While there's a lot of fear and uncertainty about what's going on, while there's a lot of maybe confusion and frustration on a personal level, it's important to continue. What's coming through is it's important to continually see what's new for you. Notice the new. Doesn't matter what it is. This is new. Oh, this person said something very, yeah, like different, or I am responding different. I'm seeing more new things. Um, I'm feeling different. Different is new. Different is new. There's a lot of resistance to different, right? We have a lot of like judgment about different. Different is the beginning, like different is a synonym for new. When you are able to recognize the difference, what's different in your world, what's different about you, what's different in your reality, what's different, your linear mind will keep you in that, oh, nothing's different, I've been stuck in this for a while, nothing changes, I'm in limbo, like all of these different things that I know I've heard also, coming from a couple of you guys. And it's important to open up and start observing what's different, because there will always be something different. Even right now, right? What's different about your home? What's different about your bedroom? What's different about your where you're sitting, or what's different about anything? Notice these things. Really allow yourself to notice. Difference. What's the difference? What's different is going to open you up. It's going to open you up to there's movement happening. There are things that are changing. Okay. We just get caught up in like the kind of changes, the kind of um the the kind of changes, these are big changes, these are little changes. I want the big change. I want this to look like this. I want me to look like this. I want my reality to be this. Okay. And we get so caught up in this and we get so attached that we don't see the small little things that are actually leading up to that. And these are so important. These little subtle shifts, these little subtle changes. Okay. These little, not so little differences about what's going on. Because at the end of the day, everything is meant to open you up to seeing more things, open you up to remembering why things are the way they are. Okay. Well, you may not get like a full length answer or like the details of everything, and that's okay. Allow yourself to see the bits and pieces that are coming through, right? The little changes that are happening to you, to your reality, to your environment, to your body. There's so many things changing right now with the body. It's so fascinating. Super duper 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 fascinating right now. All right. Hi, Forrest. Um, yes, time to relax, time to unwind, time to just take a breath. Hmm. Anchor back into your body. Anchor back into this now. There was a meditation that it's so funny. I was gonna say there's this meditation that I grew up with. Well, I grew up with for like the beginning of my, awakening journey. That was really neat because it was like an evening meditation. And I'm sharing this for visual purposes, like allow yourself to play with this. And in that meditation, there's a moment where the in that meditation there is a visualization about anything heavy in your body, right? Anything that you picked up, anything that you're carrying about whatever stressful situation, about whatever uncomfortable thing that happened throughout the day. You want to take it out. You want to, kind of take it out of your body, take the backpack off of you and put it in this purple trash bag. And I want to, that's a really cool visual. Put the heaviness, put the stress, just take it out of the trash bag and put it, or take it out of your bag. Take the whole backpack and put it in this purple trash bag. And the other thing that I want to invite you to play with is physically do this. This isn't just a visualization in meditation, energetically, not saying it doesn't work because it does. I'm saying do more. Play with this, expand it. So when you're sitting down right before you go to bed, or even when you're laying down, feel into the body so that you can start to become more aware of like where the heaviness is. Is that in your heart? Is that in your shoulders? And literally just with your hands, you want to just grab it. Imagine a purple trash bag and just dump it into the trash bag. Play with it, send the trash back to the light, or connect a pillar of light to the trash can so that everything gets cleared and transmuted. But there's so many different things. That one actually just came through when I was reading your comment, Forrest. And this goes along with doing something different. And we're so used to doing the same things over and over and over, even after we awaken, even as we start the ascension process, more consciously. We get caught up in this, like doing the same thing over and over, doing the same whatever exercises, rituals, saying the same affirmations, saying the same things. It's not about doing the same things. It's about noticing that you're doing it from the same energy. You're doing it from the exact same aspect of yourself. This is why people get caught up in the healing process. When am I going to truly heal? What is this, like how much am I going to have to heal? It's because you're doing it from the same energy. You're doing it from the same aspect that hasn't fully integrated. Once you allow a full integration of that aspect of yourself, shift, big, massive shifts. Okay. Now, it's very likely that you'll have another aspect that will come up that will be working through similar themes, maybe the same themes, but it's a different aspect. You're doing it from a different energy. That changes everything. And the more aspects, the more you're able to connect to all of these different energies that you have inside of you, the more you're able to allow a deeper or like a more of an integration with more aspects of yourself, if that makes sense. So you're so multifaceted. You're a multidimensional. Yes, the linear mind gets caught up with I have just one body, so I must just be one person. But that is so beyond what's actually happening. There's so many of you. There's so many aspects of you. There's so many different levels of you. There's so many different layers, levels, rungs to your ladder. Even there's so many different soul levels as well. That we are like we're so much, right? And there's so much that we are. There's so much of this. There's so much in this process. There's so much in this journey. Um, Linear mind gets really caught up in this and forgets to have fun and forgets to be in the joy and forgets to loosen it up and lighten it up. That's probably one of the reasons why I love working with kids. Kids, animals, nature have so much lightness. Automatically, they bring us into that. They automatically bring us into that purity, that joy, that love, that fun, that playfulness. This is no longer a commodity anymore. This is vital. This is crucial. It beats the point, but this is almost like survival. Like you have to allow these energies to come through. And it doesn't have to be a physical kid. This is your kid. This is your divine child energy. Okay. It may not have to, you may not have a pet. I don't have a pet, but the animals that come through, like the birds, oh my God, so magical. I have pigeons that come every day, so I do connect with them. Um, there was such a beautiful magical energy today mm, uh, with one of the little kids that I work with, and she has all of these little birds. She has names for them, and they're like we see them right. They're flying, but all of a sudden she's like she like pretends to like carry them, pretends that one's hiding, and she takes them into her arms, and like it was so beautiful to watch today. um I have all of these birds and butterflies all in my room. I have a little dog, stuffed animal. That's how I also connect to animals. Nature's also all around, the trees. I have um in my room the Andaras, and then I have also like the pictures of my birds have like flowers and stuff, and then the plants, and then my tree in the back patio as well. Like there's so much of this, and this is absolutely necessary for me to actually get through my day. And it's something that we anchor also inside of us. But it's not, the linear mind gets caught up with like the physicality of how things have to be. Oh, I need to have like a physical pet. Well, there's animals all around you, and you always have animals around you. You always have nature around you, and you always have that kid inside of you. This is about connecting more intentionally with that aspect, with that version of you, with the frequency, with the sound, with the visual, with the even the taste, with the touch, with the visual. All of these things, every part of your body has to be activated to this. Every one of your senses has to be activated to this in order to feel deeper levels of light support coming through you. Really, really important. So allow that, feel into what will support you, and also feel into what doesn't support you anymore. There may be things around you that to your inner child, but to your teenager, to whatever aspect, there it's frightening. It's too much. It's stressful. It's overwhelming. It's scary. It's hurtful. It's painful. All of these different things. And it's really important for you to really, really become more aware of those. Really start to feel into this may look pretty. This may have been a gift that I would hate to part with. This might have been, I might have, this might have been a part or has been a part of my reality for decades. This is, whatever the case may be, there's obviously an attachment. And it may be keeping you in a lower vibration. It may be keeping you in this trauma. It may be keeping you in this very fearful state. I got rid of, 95, 95% of all of my belongings when I moved to Mexico. And yet, like, I do have things. Like, I have books. Most of what I kept were books. I would have toys and books that I've had for a really long time. Some of them are older than me because they're my brothers and sisters' toys. But I keep them also because my students love playing with them. And they're simple. Like, I really have nothing fancy here. Everything is just simple. Everything is, it's actually really old. But those things, have kept their pure joy, like pure child energy in them. And I feel that's part of the reason why they love, these kids love playing with that. They get very excited. Like, it's nothing fancy and I don't have that much, but what I do have, they can feel. And that's important for you to have around so that your inner child can really feel that, really have that sense of support that inner child needs, so that there's an integration between inner child and divine child. They have to become one. This is part of the looping cycle of, like, we talk about inner child all the time, or I see inner child or inner child healing. And the integration part of it, I feel, has been a missing part. The integration of that becomes crucial, like it becomes vital, because then you become your divine child. You don't stay in the inner child. We don't stay in the inner child energy. We don't stay in the inner child. We don't stay in that inner child energy. Because when you fully heal the inner child, there's an integration portion. And then that's when the divine child comes in. And that's what we want to be. We want to be in this divine child, this pure child, and all of that entails, right? So, in my observation, for those that just came in, welcome. Welcome to say hi. Welcome to join in. In my observation, like, we're kind of stuck in this old paradigm. This old paradigm that keeps us in that kind of loop, whether it's consciously or it's subconsciously, unconsciously, and then it becomes more consciously. And there is There's everything evolves, right? So after the healing comes the integration, comes the unification, comes the embodiment. Okay. So at some level, you'll go through levels of your healing, and then you start to anchor more into the integration of it. So then you're more integrated, you're more in that integration process. The healing will still happen, but it will kind of happen in the background. That'll Your light takes over and does that. Now you're more in this integration phase. Unification, and then the embodiment, which is a whole phase within itself. But we have to continually open up to this because we're moving forward. There's so much movement right now. We're no longer staying stuck within the old paradigms. We're no longer staying stuck within this, even spirituality evolves. Even the spirit we evolve. Some of us, a lot of us, at some level, evolve out of the spiritual community. We do. Um, and it's going to be interesting how this evolves for each and every single one of us. How we're like not globally, like collectively. We might then have like ascension communities, um, unifying communities that have evolved out of and transcended a lot of the spiritual community, the old spiritual 3D, 4D beliefs, programs, all of these different things that are part of it. They're just part of it. They're part of the journey. They're part of the process. They're part of our evolution. They're part of our growing and remembering. Like it just is what it is. You come into a space where there's no judgment because you start to see the purposes of it and you start to see that it's just part of this process. But it's powerful and it's really empowering and it's very exciting to see that this is actually happening now. Like finally, we're in that phase. Finally, we're coming into like a more ascended, like more ascended, more um higher aligned, higher self communities, more higher self integrated aspects of ourselves as well. We're coming into more realizations, right? Everything is meant to push us deeper, push us, remind us, activate us, right? Everything serves a purpose, and that's why when you feel deeper levels of yourself and your judgment and your lack and all of that, you start to remember that, and there's you start to see the purposes. When you see a purpose, when you see the purposes, higher self purposes, divine purposes, judgment starts to dissolve. Judgment starts to just collapse. Judgment starts to clear. Okay. We're gonna go through a lot of this. So much is gonna start to come up to the surface for us. So much anger, so much doubt, so much confusion. And I'm talking collectively. You might also be seeing it within yourself, but now it's hit the collective and it's gonna hit the masses. All of these different energies, all of these different emotions are really, really important. Are going to start coming up. The anger, the confusion, the frustration, the grief that we're going to start to collectively feel globally. Huge, massive, so massive. Lilith, Will this be safe to watch later? Yes, so I'll have it on public and I'll keep it there. Absolutely. Totally understand you. Been an emotional roller coaster week, bizarre stuff going on, and strange physical symptoms of super itchy elbows. Absolutely. Go lay down, rest, relax, breathe. No worries. Um, the itchiness is normal. I'll go through phases of that. Um, it doesn't matter what part of the body, even though if you look at what part of the body you're feeling that itchiness and you're feeling that sensation, that'll clue you into the message, part of what's going on. Overall, the itchiness, if you feel into like the energy of that, it's like when we say I have an itch, I have an itch to do this. I have an itch to you know, say this, do this, be this. I have an itch. I have to scratch. I have an itch that I have to scratch. Um, there's an energy of um anxiety as well with the itchiness. Because there's a lot of movement, right? When you itch, you're like, there's a lot of vibration, right? Think, visualize the energy of of scratching. You're going up and down. There's a lot of energy there. There's a lot of energy moving that needs to be that might be well, not might needs to move, and it's so important for you to honor that. Okay, sometimes I'll go through those itchy phases. Sometimes I will tap my body like this, tap my legs, tap whatever I whatever is really itchy to move the energy. Sometimes I will also need to like move, jump, shake to get that energy moving. For however long I need to until it just kind of subsides. Um, so honor that for sure. If you are just popping in, welcome. Welcome to say hi. You're welcome to interact. You're welcome to share what you guys have been feeling. You're welcome to ask as well. I have maybe a good, I don't know, 20 minutes or so before I'm just checking the battery in the phone. There's so much right now. There's so much body wise. There's so much. Um, Collectively, there's much. Like, you guys know what I mean. There's a lot on every level for many, many reasons. The biggest thing is to continually be present. Hi, Evan. Welcome. Be present. Breathe. So important. So important. I told my mom this the other day. I'm like, breathe. She sat down. She actually put her head down on the table and I started massaging her shoulders. And it isn't until you actually pause, it isn't until you allow yourself to connect or to take a deep breath, slow down, lay down, relax. It's not until you do that sometimes that you actually start to connect with how heavy the load on you has been, how stressful it's been, how stressed you are, how anxious you are, how this you are. And this is so important for me to share right now because there's a, and everything in your linear mind is backwards. Okay. This is very normal. When you start to become more relaxed, when you start to take those deep breaths more consciously, even when you start to meditate a little bit more, when you start to become more relaxed, okay, you start to feel more things because you need to. But you hadn't been conscious enough before to actually feel any of this because you were go, 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 because you were, moving, because everything was fast paced, because you weren't allowing yourself to feel these things. And at some level, you didn't want to. So it's part of an escape. When you allow yourself the opportunity to slow down and actually be and breathe, this is when you're going to start to feel more things. Don't get scared. Don't think you're doing it wrong. A lot of us go into the meditation and go into the yoga or go into whatever the case may be, whatever practices, thinking that, oh, I'm not going to feel anything and I'm just going to feel better. But if you really feel into this is another level of escape. And this is no longer what this is all about. This is about getting you into a space and into a state where you are relaxed enough so that you can start to feel a little bit more. Feel a little bit more of the heaviness, feel a little bit more of the stress, feel a little bit more of what's been holding you back, holding you down, what you've been allowing to hold you back and hold you down. But the difference is that when you're in that space of stillness, of peace, of more relax, you're no longer fighting this anymore. You are no longer fighting your own heaviness. You're no longer fighting, resisting, or judging yourself for this. You are now coming into a more open space where you're like, oh, I'm ready to let this go. I'm ready to relax now. And that's huge. Forrest, I recently had a massage. Yay! I could feel the tenseness around my neck area as it was happening. Yes. This is normal. This is so key, though. You and I need to become more aware of where and how much heaviness, stress, anxiety, fear we've been carrying. That's one of the biggest, biggest, biggest steps, biggest keys to all of this. If you're not open, you're not going to feel this at the level that you need to. So, when you're laying down in bed, in the massage, right, the massage area, massage bed, you're more relaxed, you're more present, which means that automatically you're going to be able to feel more things. And I'm talking heavy things. And simultaneously, you're gonna also feel more peace. You're everything. You're this huge board with opposite ends. You're gonna feel peace, but you're also gonna feel the hurt. You're gonna feel the but you're also gonna feel the heaviness. You're gonna feel the lightness, and you're gonna feel the heaviness. It's so normal, but it's misunderstood. And I was just talking to somebody else too about this, about there's a level of there's a misunderstanding within this process and within this journey that it gets very uncomfortable when we start to feel more things. We get very uncomfortable. We get more scared. We want to just play in the light. We just want to play in the love and the joy. But yet we can't fully have that and live from that if we're not willing, consciously willing to feel the exact opposite, because the exact opposite is what is keeping you from feeling this and living this fully. Does that make sense? That's so, so, so important for each and every single one of us to start to realize that yes, the more you relax, the more you come back to the breath, the more you're going to start to feel, the more you're going to start to see. But that's your key to freedom. And that's where we are right now. We're coming into this space where there's no other choice. If we're not consciously opening up to see, the world is going to throw it up, throw it out, throw it up in our face, throw it in our face. If we're not consciously willing and reminding ourselves and being present with the body and, talking about, yes, I want to see more, and yes, I'm ready to, the world, you're going to trip over it. It's going to hit you in the face, right? It's going to slap. It's going to do all of these different things. And that normally tends to be a little more chaotic, a little more dramatic too. So we get to choose at some level, even though we already chose, um, to become more conscious, to become more open, to become more willing, to become more accountable, to become more responsible, to become more emotionally in tune with what's going on inside of us. And that this is what connects us. It connects us to more of our soul. It connects us to more of our light. It connects us to more of our body. And it connects us to everything around us and everyone around us. And this is so, 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 so cute for every one of us. So I'm super, super glad that you were able to do that, to go get a massage. Whatever you feel. We're talking about earlier I was talking about doing something different. Opening yourself up to doing something different. Opening yourself up to changing it up, right? Going out there and doing something that maybe you haven't done in a while or you've never done. I had my first body massage just 3 years ago. Literally. And when I went and I got it, and I was like, I was kind of in shock of like, because it felt so good. I was like, why hadn't I done this before? And yet, like I went maybe like 4 times. I haven't actually gone in a while, but I actually gifted myself with a massage pad. And wow, beyond wow. Um, I immediately felt it. Now I have a different body though, as I'm always being reminded of that because wow, it's just so different now. But my parents use it too, and they feel the difference, and they've been like, oh my God, so good. So it's super neat to have something like that just at home. But getting a full body massage by someone is also absolutely amazing. So really feel into, those things that will support you. Um, where have you been all my life? Yeah, that's kind of where, well, for me, it was more of like, I haven't done this before because, um, right. And then I'll go through like massaging, different parts of the body myself too. Like I have this, I have this little like bean bag, and I use it to massage mostly like neck, shoulders, and super super like sometimes this is amazing. Not sometimes, like sometimes I'll get guided to do it softly. Sometimes I get guided to do like deep tissue. Just depends. But I also take it upon me, right, to like do different things, massage my body as much as I'm guided to, and in just different ways, so that I can constantly feel that support, the physical support, which is so, 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 so important right now. Emotional, mental, physical, and energetic support is what this is all about. So, really feel into this, really open up to this. And there's going to be a lot of things that you've never done. There's going to be a lot of things that you've never done in this quite the same way. And so everything works, like everything matters and everything has a purpose. You just have to continually listen to this, to the merger of this and this and this, so that you can start to do what you need to feel more and more and more and more supported. Now, there's so much to this, by the way. There's so many levels of support. There's so many different things that are part of the ego, like lower self support that we latch, we want, we feel we need, but yet if we don't know that it's still feeding lack and fear, then it's never really it's not really going to be the support that you need. So really allowing yourself to connect more to light, higher self soul, right? A higher self body, so that you can start to feel the support that these aspects of you need. That makes sense? So the light, like so much light is coming through right now in so many different ways. This equates to a massive amount of support. We are being supported more and more and more and more and more. Okay. The thing that's happening is that your lower self, ego, linear mind can compute what's happening. And because your lower linear mind is not being supported, cannot ever be supported through your light, then it feels like it's running with its head cut off, because it feels like everything's falling apart. Life is ruined. Everything's being messed up. Everything's falling apart. Everything's crumbling. It doesn't feel supported through this process. The biggest thing is that as you continue to allow those changes, those reality collapses to occur, your linear mind completely is taken out of the control box. Your ego self starts to dissolve. Your ego, lower self, right? All of these different things start to clear. And finally, you start to feel the support that you need. Finally, you start to feel like, less stress, right? More relaxation in a way that you never had before, because your ego, linear, lower self mind could never allow that. That's not what it's programmed to do. Your lower self mind is programmed to sabotage, keep you in this low vibe, keep you in this hellhole, keep you in this dense reality. That's just how we've programmed it. Awareness is key. The more you breathe into this, the more you open up to say, okay, let me just allow myself to breathe, be more in my body, so that you can start to allow the necessary changes, the necessary reprogramming, the recalibrating, the rewiring, the shifting, the transformation, the transmutation, all of these different things to occur within you. It's all about allowing. The biggest thing about this process is allowing. Forget about trying, forget about knowing, forget about the how to, forget about all of these different things. It's about keeping it super simple through allowing it. How do you allow it? By breathing more consciously. So, is there anything else that you guys would like to touch on, would like to share, that you'd like to bring up as I wrap it up here? More than welcome to share. If there is anything specific, if not, no worries. Just bring into, I would just bring into we're wrapping it up here, saying my saying a few words to end the live. Oh, good. Thanks for hopping on. Thanks for being here, and thanks for sharing. So glad that you allowed that. If I know we talked a little bit, I know I've shared Epsom salt with you for body, for muscles. It's amazing. It's a must. Epsom salt to like soak in, and also magnesium to take. That's also very, very key. Because your muscles right now, my muscles, I'm going through like a very interesting, like it's a soreness, it's a tightness, it's like very interesting feeling. This is a new feeling for me. I feel the soreness, I feel the tightness, I feel the pain. And yet I'm not limping. Like I'm able to walk pretty well. There's certain movements that do hurt. It's like being in the body, feeling the hurt, but simultaneously being more in like your energy body, which doesn't feel it as much. I'm still in this like processing what's going on, and then obviously trying to explain it might not do justice, but it's very, very interesting. I know there's a lot of gut, there's a lot of sacral, a lot of root stuff being clear right now, obviously. So anything below your hips is gut, below the gut, even below the stomach. It's going through massive, massive clearing, massive release. You're not alone if you're feeling anything in this area. So anything below the hips will be like root stuff. And I went through beyond intense root stuff back 7 years ago, but it was the opposite side. So it's very interesting how it's like, oh, now I'm switching over to the other side, getting the other side cleared and cleansed. It is much, much smoother. Like it's intense, but overall, it's nothing to what I, lived 7 years ago. Pain beyond belief, couldn't walk, limped for months. So it's very, very interesting. Like there's a new level of intensity, and I'm and I'm feeling it. However, it's still a soft, like there's still this level of softness. Um, yes, I've been applying those. Oh, good. I'm so glad to hear that, Forrest. Super, 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 super good. So yeah, muscles. I actually need to get myself more Epsom salt. I was getting I got the soap, the body soap, which I love. But I need to get different scents too, because I've noticed kind of the difference with the different scents. And I also need to get myself more Epsom salt. I would love to get myself or something that I could soak my leg. So that's definitely kind of in my list. But yeah, there's so much going right now with the body as always. Muscles are definitely feeling it a bit more. So continue to tune in, continue to feel, continue to receive the guidance that will further support you in your process, further support your body in every level, on every level. And just stay wide open. Just like open your arms, close your eyes, breathe more consciously because everything is just pouring down on us. Literally, literally, literally. These codes, these frequencies, um, they're super, super, super strong right now. And we need them. We need them actually more than ever. Or especially as everything continues to morph and change and collapse. So with that, thank you, Forrest, for being here, popping in, whoever else is here live, for those that were live. Evan, if you're not here, thanks for hopping in. Lilith, I know you said your good nights. So thank you. Thank you for hopping in. If you just tuned in, I don't have a lot of juice. In fact, be, my battery might be quite low right now. But if you do have something that you want to share, if you have a question, you're more than welcome to put it down in the description, in the comments. I do read the comments, and if there is something that I'm guided to like share and maybe do a video on it, I will. So with that, sending everyone a huge, 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 huge hug. Lots of blessings, and we'll see you next time.